Class 9. Today we are going to cover up chapter number 9, weathering. Now our earth, it is constantly going throughout the changes, whether it is the internal or the external. Now external is the one which is visible to us because of the process which is known as the weathering. Now when defined, weathering, it means the disintegration and decomposition of the rocks wherever they exist because of the certain elements of weather that act upon it. Weathering also leads to the formation of the soil. Now this is one of the important products that we get out of weathering. Now where the types of the weathering are concerned, we have physical weathering, chemical weathering and biological weathering. Let us discuss the first one, mechanical or the physical weathering. Now where the physical weathering is concerned, the disintegration or the decomposition of the rocks, the process takes place by the elements of the weather rather than the chemical process. Now the physical weathering, the rocks do not undergo the chemical change of the composition of the rocks. Now this form, it is much more effective in the dry regions. Now let us study the factors that are responsible for mechanical weathering. The first one is the exfoliation. Now this occurs because of the temperature changes during the summer and the winter season, and that is if the area is a desert one, and during day and night. Then the constant expansion and the contraction in the rock surfaces, the rock begin to peel off in the form of the layer rather than grain by grain. So this process, it is known as the exfoliation. Then we have the block disintegration. Now it occurs in the well-jointed rock. Examples are granite due to the temperature change. Now the temperature change, what would happen to the rock? Because of the constant heating and cooling, the rocks will expand and contract. So when constantly they do that, the rock gets broken up into the smaller parts in the form of a block. So this is known as the block disintegration. Then the next one is the granular disintegration. Now again, it is a process of the physical or the mechanical weathering, and again it occurs because of the constant repeated heating and cooling of the rock. So what would happen? It would start to disintegrate, and the disintegration, it would take by grain. So what would happen, that the constant expansion and contraction of the minerals that are present in the rock, it would disintegrate into the smaller pieces. Let us come to the topic of chemical weathering now. The process, it involves the breaking up or the disintegration of the rock when the moisture, it tends to act with the mineral composition that is present in the rock, or because of the exposure to the air. Then we have 4 of the processes that are involved over here. We have oxidation, hydration, carbonation and solution. Let us go through them. First one, oxidation. Now here the iron combines with the oxygen in the presence of water, and the process is known as the oxidation. And the product of the oxidation is rusting. The red color soil that we see, or the red color deposit that is present on the rocks, that is because of the process of oxidation. Then we have the hydration. In this process, what happens, that the rocks, they tend to absorb the water. Now when they absorb the water, they tend to expand as well. Now when they expand, much of the force or the stress is created, which causes the rocks to break down. Then we have the carbonation. Now it is the reaction of the carbonic acid on minerals. Now the reaction takes place between the weak acids in the rainwater and the acids that is in the groundwater. The rocks that are weathered mainly by the carbonation are marble and limestone. Now the next one, we have the solution. The rainwater, it reacts with the minerals present in the rocks and it dissolves them. Now there are certain of the minerals which are insoluble, so it remains standing, and the one that is soluble, it gets dissolved up in the water, leading to the disintegration of the rocks by the process of chemical weathering solution. Coming to the last topic, biological weathering. Now it is caused by plants, animals and human activities as well. Rocks can break down because of the animal burrowing. Trees' root can grow into the cracks, can lead down to the breaking up of the rocks by applying the excessive force on it. Then the human activities, maybe the road construction work is there, mining, farming, deforestation, all of it leads to weathering. Children, from this chapter, only these were the topics that were required and covered. Go through the set of the question answers and read the chapter thoroughly. Thank you.